as for the question, Sebastian, really interesting. You've mentioned basically your robot that you have created as a monitoring tool. Now, this for me is still a bit how to say, like a distant future, because I'm actually trying to dive into creating a robot, but it seems perhaps more complex. So I wonder whether you could share with us some of the steps that you took to create that robot. Perhaps not that particular robot, but sort of in general, how to approach it as a beginner, because I really do believe that that's sort of the next level of utilizing AI. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. So you added translation to the long list of things we can do on this robot. And of course, I will encourage everyone to become members of the community. And then we do this online, okay? So we actually, this workshop is also online. It's just the next one is in person in Brussels, but we do this online. All the robots, they have the same, absolutely the same structure, all of them, okay? And if this sounds like very complex to you, the one following, I rest assured in the workshop at the end you do one of these, okay? It's the last thing of the workshop. They have a very simple structure. One is you have to give them instructions. For example, one of the things that I said firstly is the guidelines, the things that you already want them to do or not to do. So I gave all my guidelines, okay, my do's and don'ts, everything is there, okay, it's a long list. You have some word limit, but it's okay. It's you can still do a few things. So first is the instructions. Then you provide them with the tools. So you say, not only do this, but also if I ask you for verification, make sure that you do web browsing. If you want visual, use this. And here, then I always have a critic persona at the end, that at the very end of the process of this robot, the output is reviewed by a critic persona. So I get like a double verification, and I can add a third one and a fourth one. So this can go on and on. Of course, I think with 2 people, with 2 agents, I think is enough. So I always have this content, okay? And in the tools, I explain what I included in the knowledge base, which is the same structure. First the instructions, then the tools. So and in the tools you explain, you have to include this knowledge base. You have to say, I want you to use this and not that. I want to use this book and not this other, and how to use it. And then the critical step at the end is the critic persona. Like you make sure that at the end, a critic persona reviews everything, because we know artificial intelligence, when it is producing long pieces of text, it makes more mistakes than when the pieces of text are short. That answer?
How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that answered my question, and thank you very much. But you've also mentioned that basically you've managed to use it in a way that it sends automatic emails.
Yes. So for that, you need to build an automation with Zapier, one that I use for the media report, and you basically build an automation on Zapier, and then you can now choose to use ChatGPT as part of that process. And basically, you sort of replicate the same thing that I did with the bot, but you do it here in Zapier. Okay. And then you basically, based on an input, you create the media report in different languages. You can see here different languages, all sort of things. Then it creates that information. They put it on a document, and then ChatGPT writes an email that is sent to everyone in the team. You know? So that's a little bit how it would work in a nutshell. So you use the ChatGPT to provide, to do more than the automation. The automation is not by Zapier, but the ChatGPT here, what it is adding is the intelligence bit. It's like, okay, I understand that you are looking for sentiment analysis. So I'm gonna go and check if this content is positive, neutral, negative, etc. And again, this is all included in the. So at the end of the workshop, you do the custom GPT and the email automation. That is like, it is not complex. It's just understanding the limitations and how to speak to this technology. Everything else is very straightforward. And the idea, every time that I sit down to create a new one, maybe Maria, this is the same for you. Every time you sit down and review something you did a month ago, you think you are stupid. You were stupid back then because you, like, the learning curve is huge.